Hello everyone and welcome back to my channel, and if you're new here, thanks for joining me. I'm Katie and today I am feeling UPCRATE. Well, I can't believe how quickly this one's come around. It doesn't seem 5 minutes ago since I was doing the August box, but we're doing the September box already. So let's get in, shall we? So this was quite a heavy box, and the reason why is we've got some paint. On a quick look, it looks like acrylic, and we have a few nifty gadgets in there as well, and a wooden surface to paint on. How interesting. This month's featured artist is called Nicole Arkina. I think I'm saying that right. I'm sorry if I'm not. And it's a gorgeous print, and I really enjoy the prints from UPCRATE, so yay, this is another good one. So let's talk about the ingredients. Well, the surface I've got are wood cards, and they're made from birch wood, 3mm thick, and a favourite of the featured artists, which is great. We also have a Koh-i-Noor graphite pencil in 2B, and it has a triangular shaped barrel for a nice ergonomic, comfortable grip. We have a set of 3 mixing trays by Talons. I actually found these really useful. I was quite surprised actually by how much I use them and how much I'm going to get use out of them too, so nice work. We also have 3 brushes this month by the brand Art Space. They're nylon brushes and come in 3 different sizes. They come in a 3/0, size 0 and size 4, which is kind of nice to have the variety there. And the paints that are included this month are Sennelier abstract paints, which are those strange things in the pouches, and they come in a titanium white and Chinese blue, as well as the Sennelier acrylic 3D liner, and that comes in deep magenta. Swatching these out, there was quite a nice coverage. The magenta was a little bit on the transparent side, but I think that sort of sacrificed the opacity for the thickness, whereas the other 2 soft-bodied paints went on like a dream. They did all mix together really nicely, and even though I haven't got a yellow in there, I still think I've got a nice spectrum of colours. Before we continue, have any of you subscribed to my channel? There's a good 44% of you who haven't. A massive thank you to those of you who have, but if you don't want to miss out on some future videos, why not hit that button right now? Anyway, let's get back to the painting, shall we? So this month's UPCRATE battle is The Beauty of Madness. What an unusual theme. I thought I'd go for a slight Alice in Wonderland type twist here. It's not the first time I've done that with an UPCRATE box, but that just seemed the right thing to do for this one. So let's talk about the paint. I'm sure you've heard me whinge and whine before about acrylic paints. They're not my bag, and I am, outside of YouTube, actually learning to get better with them again after falling out of love with them. So okay, they're not my favourite materials, but it's worth a try, right? And I have brushes and I have a white paint, which seriously helps. Now, with the absence of a yellow, I wouldn't say it caused any problems, it just forced me to get the old grey matter working. And I figured, since as the wood is already a tone, and it would be an absolute shame to paint over this and lose all of them unusual textures, I thought as a mid-tone the wood would be perfect for her face, and I could block the other areas in around her face, like her hair and the other little bits and bobs I had. Now, I'm not entirely used to watering acrylics down and getting used to their opacity. I know you can kind of get them to work like a watercolour, but they behave differently and they settle differently and they spread out differently, so I wasn't incredibly brave with it. However, I did water it down just to add a bit of colour and depth to Alice's face. It actually felt really nice painting on a wooden texture as opposed to a canvas texture, which I guess is traditionally what you'd use acrylics on, and that's what I've been attempting to use. And there's just something about canvas I mean, I like the result, but painting on it, I'm just not down with that texture, and I like a smooth surface to paint on, especially with a thick paint as well. I don't know why, it's just preference. Have any of you guys got preferences like that? I am quite pleased with how it turned out though, and it just sort of adds a really delicate look to her face without blocking on the colours. And again, that gorgeous pattern and texture from the wood underneath, I really like it. So why would I get rid of it all? I mean, if I just wanted to completely cover the surface, I might as well just use card, right? Now let's talk about this paint a little bit more. So yeah, it went down really nicely. It was a bit buttery to use, but in my opinion, that's kind of what acrylics are like, at least ones for painting with. Crafting ones are a little bit runnier, but these were quite buttery. So every time I loaded my brush up, I had to readjust where the paint was sitting on it, just so it wouldn't glob on the page. And again, this is all part of relearning how to use them. I absolutely love how flat these dried as well. I'm not a fan of really glossy acrylics, and to be honest, when I do a painting with them, I'll probably go over them in a matte glaze, or I'll introduce a matte medium to them, just so it's all the same sheen. But these were beautiful, and I actually felt a little bit like I was painting with gouache. Bear in mind, not being able to reactivate the colours and a quicker drying time, but nonetheless it still just felt a little bit like painting with gouache. And as soon as I got into that frame of mind with it, the painting sort of got a bit more enjoyable to do, and dare I say, I actually enjoyed using these acrylic paints. I absolutely loved how evenly they mixed together as well, and how quickly they did it. I have found before with acrylics that I can never quite fully mix them. I don't know what it is. I think I've mixed a colour and then I apply it on the canvas and there's like a streak of another colour in there, and it's on the canvas forever and I have to wait for it to dry and go over it again. But with these, they mixed beautifully, and again, maybe that's just down to the finish of how they dry and how they apply, and I didn't mean that to rhyme, or did I? Anyway, let's get back to the subject matter. So I thought I'd just add a few characters in there. So I added the caterpillar with his pipe and a big old trail of smoke coming from there, and within that trail of smoke there may be a Cheshire cat or a hint of one. Alice is also wearing a choker that will have the white rabbit on there, and there is maybe a reference or two to a Queen of Hearts and maybe a certain tea party that might have gone on. Now, I didn't add too many of these features in here because I used the postcard sized wood card that came in the box, and it's saying that's the gimmick, but actually I'm just really glad there was another surface to work on. The other piece we had, which was an A5 size, I used the back of that to do my swatching on, so I've still got a clear surface to revisit this in the future. I must admit though, I'm quite surprised really by how much I enjoyed this box. As soon as I opened it, I mean, I'm not disputing the paints are nice, good quality paints, but it's acrylics. I'm just not down with acrylics. But after doing this box, I don't know, this was a positive experience, so maybe I might go and use a few more acrylics and possibly do a follow-up video of, well, me using acrylics. Let me know if you'd like to see that and see that little journey I'm going through at the moment. Now there's just one last thing to add, and I thought I would make use of this strange squirty nozzle on the magenta paint, and that was to do my signature because I thought it might look a bit weird having these 3D bits on here. All in all, I really enjoyed this box. I enjoyed what I created with it, and it was a positive experience. As always, thank you for watching, and if you have enjoyed this, please give me a thumbs up. Also, if you've got anything to say, my comments box is always viewed, and if you haven't already, hit that subscribe button and keep up to date. I'll see you soon. Bye!